Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your #1 source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
A few light showers out there for us this morning. I'll show you how it will affect the commute and how much more rain is on the way this week.
And an SUV hits a person. Part of Pool Road in Raleigh is back open after a crash that closed it down for hours. What we know about the victim's condition this morning.
Protecting your child. Today, kids on their way to kindergarten can get vaccinated in Wake County. The push from health officials to keep students safe from disease with some of those required vaccinations out there. Straight up 6 o'clock right now on your Tuesdays. We get things started together. Sunrise on the way. I'm Jeff Hogan. Thanks for making us part of your day.
And I'm Michelle McConaughey in for Nate Chu. Yeah, nice little sunrise coming up behind us. We did see some spotty showers earlier. I know when we were coming in this morning around 4, a couple raindrops, and we are still seeing that. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner showing us where that rain is falling right now.
Most of it is to the west, but it is starting to creep into the viewing area, especially Chatham County is starting to rain a little bit in the northern part of Moore County. You can see some of that around Chapel Hill and Hillsborough, and it's headed eastward. Now, it's going to be light and patchy. It's not going to be anything that creates a lot of heavy downpours, but we will see some waves of rain on and off through the day, about a 40% chance later this afternoon. Continuing to check in with Tropical Storm Dexter. It's a little weaker than it was yesterday at this time. Now it has 40-mile-per-hour winds, so barely a tropical storm, likely to continue to trek on up into the North Atlantic and away from the United States. Cloudy skies this morning. This is a live look at our Garner Tower. We'll see clouds all day, but cool temperatures, 69 right now, dew point 64, and our temperature this afternoon likely to remain in the 70s. We do have some warmer temperatures and a better chance for storms later in the week. We'll check that out, Ken.
Elizabeth, at 6:01, because of these wet conditions we're expecting, we do have the WRAL Storm Tracker out on the roads this morning. We check in with Laura Levine, photographer Charles Bradley. They've been driving all over Wake County and surrounding communities. Right now, they're in Orange County. Laura, good morning.
Ken, good morning. Here in the WRAL Storm Tracker, we are now on I-40 in the Hillsborough area, a little near Elfland. But as you can see, we are beginning to see a little more showers coming down than we did in the last half hour or so in this area. Having our windshield wipers on at a slow and steady pace here as we're navigating the roads. I can tell you as more traffic is picking up, overall the roads are dry as we're seeing light rain in the viewing area. We'll keep you updated on what we're seeing here on the roads. Ken?
All right, Laura, we're going to keep it in Orange County this morning. Here's a live look at I-40 and Irwin Road. Traffic is beginning to pick up nicely. And, of course, as Elizabeth just mentioned, these rain showers are coming in from the west, so Chatham County, eventually Orange County, and parts of the Triangle eventually. Right now, dry conditions in Wake County. The crash that we were monitoring at Lewisburg and Perry Creek completely cleared, so it's all delay-free right now. You're getting ready to head out the door. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
All right, thank you, Ken. A woman is seriously hurt after being hit by an SUV in Raleigh. This happened around midnight on Pool Road near Carrier Drive. The WRAL Breaking News Tracker was on scene this morning. The driver involved is cooperating with police. The woman who was hit was taken to Wake Med. She is in critical condition.
A Johnston County priest was arrested on church grounds, accused of hiring a prostitute. The Johnston County Sheriff's Office says Clemente Olvera Guerrero arranged that meeting over an app with 20-year-old Jaquavis Brinson. Brinson is facing prostitution charges in the case as well. The two were arrested at St. Anne Catholic Church on US 70 Business early Monday morning. Both have since bonded out of jail. The Diocese of Raleigh oversees St. Anne, and it confirmed to WRAL Olvera Guerrero has essentially been suspended while this investigation plays out.
Prosecutors say the man accused of killing a 10-year-old girl while boating drunk tried to get rid of the alcohol on his boat. Quentin Kite received 2 additional charges in court yesterday, recklessly operating a boat and driving impaired, causing serious injury. 10-year-old Brooklyn Carroll died in the crash on Saturday, and Jennifer Staley was seriously hurt. She lost her leg. Investigators say Kite had been looking backward at a tube that he was pulling during that crash. Kite is behind bars on a $500,000 bond.
The countdown to back to school is on in Wake County, just 20 days away now. And today there is an opportunity to get kids their required vaccinations ahead of the school year. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us from the Southern Regional Center right now. Kelsey, nationally, immunization rates have gone down year over year.
Yes, Jeff, they have. So that's why today you can bring your student here to the Southern Regional Center to get vaccinated. These back-to-school vaccine clinics are going to be happening across Wake County just in time for the first day of school. North Carolina law requires specific vaccines for students entering kindergarten, 7th, and 12th grade. These vaccine clinics are opening as vaccination numbers are going down nationwide. Here's a breakdown of vaccination rates for Wake County kindergartners over the past 3 years. Now, last year's rate went up just over 94%, but that's still below the 95% that's needed for herd immunity. Tina Patton with Wake County Public Health says offering the measles vaccine is a top priority at these back-to-school clinics.
Because of that decline in the number of people immunized, we've started to see measles outbreak. So that will be one of the vaccines that we are offering this time. And it is important because the more of us that are immunized, the less opportunity there is for outbreak.
You can bring your kindergartner, 7th grader, or 12th grader to get vaccinated today. Today's clinic will be open from 5:30 until 7:30. If you want a full list of all of these back-to-school vaccine clinics, just head to our website, WRAL.com. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Fuquay Varina.
And school calendars would change for 2 more Wake County schools under a new proposal. North Forest Pines and Pleasant Union Elementary Schools in Raleigh would switch from year-round to traditional calendars. Feedback to the district has so far shown strong opposition among families and staff members. However, WRAL's education reporter tells us this isn't something new.
Wake County did this last year to 2 middle schools that were in northern Wake County. The pattern we're kind of seeing is that a lot of these schools in northern Wake County and in Wake Forest and Raleigh, even Rolesville, they were kind of planned and scheduled anticipating a lot of overcrowding. They need these year-round calendars. And then they didn't end up being as bursting at the seams as people thought. And now they're kind of, operating on these year-round calendars, and they're really below capacity.
The district would save $200,000 on the change because schools would not have to be open every day anymore.
A man is back behind bars this morning after escaping from the Harnett County Jail. Sheriff's office says Angelo Rivera escaped yesterday. He was captured about a mile from the detention center. Sky 5 captured that moment. You see him there without the shirt on, getting put in the vehicle. Deputies say they are not sure how he got out of jail, but he is being charged with misdemeanor escape in addition to several drug charges he was already facing.
A newly released DMV audit highlights some of the problems within the agency we've been telling you about for years, including a shortage of workers, outdated technology, and the relationship between the DMV and the DOT. Auditor Dave Bolick suggests the DMV should no longer be part of the Department of Transportation. The NCDOT and the DMV Commissioner, Paul Tyne, have already responded to the audit. They disagree with the decision to make an autonomous agency. We've reached out to the governor's office for his response. We are waiting to hear back. And 5 on Your Side has asked the new DMV commissioner about many of the problems listed. You'll find that reporting in the 5 on Your Side section of WRAL.com.
We have extensive coverage of that on our website. Chris Levingood here in the WRAL Live Center at 6:08. I want to show you this video that came over the feeds this morning. What you're seeing here is 10 pounds, roughly actually 11 pounds of food aid that is being airdropped into Gaza. This is from Canada specifically, and we're talking about this happening overnight as Israel has been slammed by Canada in terms of obstructing aid. They're complaining about this, saying that more aid needs to happen. And you've seen the video we've shown you over the past week or so of people standing in lines, desperate, trying to get just a morsel of food there. Canada's government said the obstruction is a violation of international humanitarian law and said that it will intensify efforts with international partners to get more aid in Gaza. And so this appears to be just a part of more aid that could be coming to a lot of people who need it desperately right now.
Chris, thanks for that. We now know why the Blue Ridge Road underpass will not be ready before the state fair. The big holdup was about soil quality. North Carolina Department of Transportation workers had to increase the quality of that soil, and weather has also slowed the project down over the years. The timeline is now for the project to finish sometime in 2026. There is some good news out of all this. NCDOT says for now, the Barrel Road project, the bridge there is back on track to be open for the fair, and that would help relieve some traffic in the area for folks who are not able to use Blue Ridge Road.
Tests of the Eno River showed bacteria levels in several spots are safe once again. Flooding from Chantal created concerns up and down the river. People had been urged not to swim in the river because of bacteria. Some of the cleared areas include the access near Eno River Brewing. The state park is still closed with damage from the storm.
All this month, we are helping area animals find forever homes during our Clear the Shelters adoption event. Wake County Animal Center is one of the participating shelters, and here's the best part about it. They are waiving adoption fees now through the end of the month. So give a furry friend a fresh start. To learn more and locate a shelter near you, you can go to WRAL.com/shelters.
6:10 on your Tuesday morning. Flesh-eating bacteria. The danger may be lurking in warm, salty water on our coast. The warning signs to look out for while you are at the beach.
Plus, this ceiling collapse. New video shows water just pouring out at Atlanta's airport. The work crews are facing to get that mess cleaned up.
And a different feeling day today. Yesterday was sunny and gorgeous. Today, cloudy skies, even cooler, but with a light patchy rain. I'll show you when you're more likely to see those showers coming up.
And as we head to break, here's a look at your winning Powerball numbers: 8, 9, 19, 31, and 38. The Powerball is 21. The Power Play multiplier is 2.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:14, taking a live look at dual Doppler 5000 radar. A little bit of light patchy rain mainly to our west, starting to creep into our western counties. Nothing that we see today is going to be terribly heavy. It's a real different pattern than we saw yesterday. Gray skies all day, even cooler temperatures, and some light patchy rain. 30% chance through the middle of the afternoon, and then a 40% chance this evening. Probably going to run into some of this rain at some point today as you're out and about. Taking a look at Chapel Hill, you can see a shower that rolled through earlier. The street is a little damp there, and it looks like the rain has just started to pick up again. Our temperature in Roxborough 64, but 72 in Fayetteville. We may notice much warmer temperatures in our southern counties today compared to the Triangle area in north and west. In the Triangle, we'll likely see temperatures staying in the 70s all afternoon. Unusual for April. A little warmer tomorrow. We transition to a stormier pattern with some heavier rain. I'll show you when coming up.
Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL traffic center. For the most part, all of our major routes are delay-free right now. The splashes of green shows you where the wet road conditions we're seeing. But right now, we are following some breaking news as well. It's a truck fire on the western part of the Beltline 440 at Lake Boone Trail. That's where we find WRAL's Ali Cadlebar in the breaking news tracker to fill us in on what we can expect. And a huge backup behind you, Ali.
Yes, Ken, there's about a half-mile stretch behind me between where I'm standing, Glen Eden Drive, and where that truck fire is. Now, we do know from Raleigh Police, who's assisting the fire department, that there are no injuries, that this wasn't a crash, but the truck caught on fire. Now, they're still determining what caused this, but as you can see, traffic is inching slowly, and it just continues up I-440 westbound. So we're going to stay on top of this and keep you guys updated throughout the morning. Reporting in Raleigh, Ali Cadlebar, WRAL News.
Quite a mess that's developed right there at 6:16. Danger may be lurking in the water off the North Carolina coast. It is called Vibrio, also known as flesh-eating bacteria. This year, there have been 59 confirmed cases in our state, and one person has died. Vibrio lives in water and prefers warm ocean temperatures. Professor Rachel Noble works in the Department of Environmental Sciences and Engineering at UNC. She tells WRAL while many cases of Vibrio have been caught by people working in the seafood industry, anyone who spends time in shallow water is at risk.
And so if people become exposed to the water during that window of time, whether it's because they're recreating or fishing, or maybe they're working on the water because they are a seafood producer, those exposures can really increase.
In severe cases, Vibrio infections can spread to the bloodstream in 6 to 10 hours. Noble encourages anyone who is concerned about a potential infection to go see a doctor.
We'll take a look at this video from the Atlanta airport. You see brown water just gushing out of the ceiling. Airline passengers captured this video at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport yesterday. Look at this. Another flow of water just comes right out of the ceiling. A spokesperson for the airport says the crews are working to clean and sanitize that space. The cause of the leak is under investigation. The incident did not impact overall airport operations. A security checkpoint was just temporarily closed.
A volcano in Russia is erupting for the first time in 600 years. This volcano in Kamchatka set a column of ash up in the sky more than 3 miles. The volcano's last eruption took place around 1463. This eruption may be related to the huge earthquake that rocked Russia's Far East last week.
600 years.
Yeah.
That is pretty incredible. My goodness. All right, let's turn to weather now. Meteorologist Elizabeth Garner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center tracking this rain that's slowly creeping closer to us, Elizabeth.
Most of it this morning has been back across the Triad or towards Charlotte, but it is sliding eastward. So Chatham County, much of Chatham County seeing a few showers, a little bit of that in the northern part of Moore County, and then kind of creeping into Orange and Durham County as well. Nothing very heavy out there, and the bulk of it's still to our west. But as we head through the morning and into the afternoon, we'll see more of that rain pushing in. This is a completely different pattern than what we saw yesterday. Yesterday we had sunshine, comfortable temperatures, low humidity, but now we're moving into a pattern called cold air damming. Now, cold air damming typically happens in the fall, winter, and spring, which is where we get the name cold air. Nothing cold about this, but we are looking at wind coming off the North Atlantic, and it's that cool, damp air is backing up against the mountains and just getting stuck here. So this means clouds, some light rain, and some cooler than normal temperatures. So that's what this pattern means for us. It's likely to be with us through tomorrow and then some changes. So here at the surface, our wind comes out of the north and east, and that cool, damp air settles here and gets locked in by a southwesterly wind up above. That brings us cloudy skies and a few light showers. So here's a look at Futurecast, and you can see those waves of rain as we get from 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock, moving in mainly in our western counties. And then for the rest of the day, especially during the afternoon, it continues to spread eastward into our eastern counties. Nothing terribly heavy for today. We're looking at about 1/4 of an inch. Now the pattern changes tomorrow. We get back into some thunderstorms, which could produce some heavier rain, as much as 3/4 of an inch Wednesday and again on Thursday. And those days we have the potential for some isolated flooding. Still watching the tropics, a 30% chance that a system develops closer to the weekend just off the coast of North Carolina. And then a 50% chance one coming off the coast develops, but that one is likely to head out to sea. Of course, we're still tracking Dexter, which is sitting out off the coast of the United States and moving away. It has winds at 40 miles per hour right now, but it is moving on out of here. A low moving in across the middle of the country will continue to push in some heavier rain Wednesday and Thursday. So that's when we'll have that potential for some flooding. So looking at our 7-day forecast, our temperatures really stay nice and clear. As a matter of fact, you can see that 90-degree day as we get into Monday. But between now and then, can we stay nice and cool?
We'll take it. Hey, listen, thanks, Elizabeth. We're following some breaking news right now. There's a vehicle fire right now that's happening on the westbound lanes of the Beltline right on Lake Boone Trail. Photographer Michael Jordan giving us these live pictures right now. You can show you the huge backup that's causing right there on these westbound lanes of Lake Boone Trail. There you see the activity right there. They're trying to pull out that fire, but this backup is stretching all the way back to Glenwood Avenue. So I would recommend, if you want to get around this, exit on Glenwood Avenue, get over to Edwards Mill Road. That'll take you over to Wade Avenue and send you on your way. I'll keep monitoring this, let you know how this will continue to affect your morning commute, but you're getting ready to head out the door because of these changing traffic conditions. 101.5 HC3 will keep you updated all morning long.
All right, thank you, Ken. Fighting more than fires. New research shows the cancer risk for fire crews is growing in more ways than previously known. How improved gear is helping reduce the danger.
A watery plane crash. The pilot who went down off our coast speaks with WRAL. He'll tell us why he thinks it happened. And ahead on today, preparing for back to school, where to find the best deals on supplies, backpacks, clothing, and technology for kids of all ages.
And here's a look at your winning NC Education lottery numbers. Good luck.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
Jonathan Groff is awarded an honorary PhD.
And Chris Pratt's family, the new tenants to a surprising landlord. Ken Smith here with what's trending on our Tuesday, Ken.
Yeah, the Pratt family, Jeff and Michelle, their family house is back on the market. They put the 6-bedroom, 7.5-bath home in the Pacific Palisades on the market more than a year and a half ago, but took that listing down. Now that house is back on the market again at a reduced price of just $20 million. That's actually down from the original asking price of $32 million.
Oh my gosh, it's a bargain.
Yeah.
Wow, now more people can afford it.
That's a steal. They're
Look at that house.
knocking down the gates to get in there.
That's gorgeous. But you were talking about the unusual tenant.
Yeah,
Now that
the
Pratts,
landlord.
Yeah, the landlord. They're renting a home from pop star Katy Perry. Could you imagine telling Katy Perry that like your toilet's broken or something?
Yeah, come fix this.
Make sure it get fixed.
Yeah, it's super
Oh my
fun.
goodness.
So how about this? Jonathan Groff is now an honorary doctor. He was just awarded a PhD in Fine Arts from Franklin and Marshall College in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. It was presented by his former teacher, Sue Fisher, who he credits for telling him to try for stardom.
Well,
He did.
Dr. Groff count for
Yeah.
stardom, I guess. I don't know. He was the voice of Kristoff from Disney's Frozen series. So.
Listen,
Got
he
that.
went for stardom and he got it.
Yeah,
That's
did.
amazing.
Spent a lot of time on Broadway as well.
Yes.
Ken, thank you.
All right, well, the world now knows about a new fungus discovered in Durham. Researchers found it in the New Hope Creek Preserve back in 2021. We won't trouble you with the Latin name. Thank goodness we don't have to try to say that this morning. But it does include a reference to New Hope. A recently published paper describes it as the first organism of a new species found during that inventory. And what's unique about it, the fungus seems to support the oak trees in the area. Those oak trees bolster are the home to much of the biodiversity there. Very cool.
Taking a look at radar this morning, some patchy light rain, especially in our western counties. I'll let you know if it will affect your commute this morning.
And back to school boost. Wake County is making it easy to get your child's required vaccinations. The push to get more kids protected as the new school year approaches.
And overnight crash. A woman is in the hospital after getting hit by an SUV in Raleigh. What we know about her condition this morning.